Oh wait, we're starting?
What?
Yeah, I've been recording for
We
ages.
started?
Yeah.
well,
I do this.
follow us.
I do this every time. I always hit record while you guys are jabbering. It's great.
So, it's been a while, guys.
Yes. Yes.
What the fuck are we talking about today?
Okay. What a delightful introduction to the audience. What little audience there is. I told one of my friends about it as a joke, and he unironically said he wanted to listen. Then I think unironically, I certainly hope so, messaged me like the next day saying I listened to all of them, and when you don't talk about Shrek, it's great. So if you are listening to this, George, I sure as hell hope you meant that ironically, but if you didn't, I'm glad you like it.
Well, to be fair, there's not much Shrek to talk about, is there?
Yes, so this is going to be a good episode.
Yes. Thank God the fucking game is dead. But then again, come September 1st, Shrek-timber! One and only fun tournament that's gonna happen this year. Get hyped! Woo!
Can we actually talk about that later? I have legitimate questions for you, but I have other things I wish to discuss first. So, numero uno, as boys said, we haven't done one of these for like 10 months, was it? Which is weird. It legitimately doesn't feel like that long since we recorded the amazing Ooga Booga conspiracy, but apparently it was. So, it would be a lie to say we've all been busy. I certainly haven't. But always one of us has been busy, and it's hard to organise all the four of us. In particular, Boy has been making some sweet GBA games. Boy, tell us about your GBA game. Can I include footage of it? Is there footage of it?
There's JV5 guy footage of it.
That'll do. That's even better. But describe it for the uninformed masses.
So, I had a class known as the Game Boy Advance class. Basically, all semester we're working towards a final project, which was making a whole Game Boy Advance game. And a month before it was due, I no-lifed it. Spent like all my spare time working on it. And I made a masterpiece.
Masterpiece!
Yes, and it ended up like I had like the professor email me 4 times saying how great my game was and how marvelous it was, and like he kept asking me to like be a TA, and I applied, but I didn't get the job at first because reasons. But then I got the job last minute, so I'm gonna be a TA for that class. So I'm gonna be even busier now.
Nice.
So that's gonna be good.
Even less episodes. Next one this time next year. So the game was basically like Punch-Out, wasn't it? But with your teacher in it.
It was Punch-Out, and my teacher was in it. His name was Omajokun. And basically, it ended with him going Super Saiyan, flying out into space, and hugging a glitch. So that's nice.
Very good. Well, I will locate the JV5 Go footage. I will include it. I'll probably just steal it and put it in the video. He probably won't mind.
He'll have the views.
Yeah, exactly. It will count as a shout out. We'll love it. Yeah, and that's basically the most interesting thing that's happened to any of us in the past about 10 months.
You're almost like done graduating, right?
Yes, I'm very nearly done with any kind of structured education forever. I literally have a week left, so that's pretty good. Squee has been doing whatever the hell he does.
Sitting on my ass, scratching my nuts.
That's the one. And Provider's been doing that, but more so.
It's true.
Well, and you've been kickstarting scenes, or have you? I don't know. This is the next thing I wanted to discuss. So, in episodes 4, 5, and 6, I think, we discussed Tom and Jerry, Godzilla, and OPGA, respectively. So let's revisit them, since it's been so long, and just see if they flourished or if they died. Starting with the easiest, Tom and Jerry. Does anyone want to tell? Did Tom and Jerry go anywhere?
No,
Good.
it's extremely dead. That game was figured out like legit in 10 minutes.
Thank God for that.
There's a Y jab combo, there's a B jab combo, and you run away and you can throw people in the walls for extra damage. Damn.
Nice.
It's a very easy game. It didn't last long because of that. I think it's fun, but it definitely overstayed its welcome just with how much Moth promoted it and shit.
Does the Discord still exist? I think all the invites to it are dead. So I once tried to get in and couldn't manage it. Does it still exist? Does anyone say anything in it?
It's got nothing in it. There's a nice channel you should check out called Provider is Gay that you should definitely just have a nice click on.
Hey man, I don't think you should do that, dude.
You should click on it.
I see.
Give it a nice little check.
I'm not. Well, I can't. I'm not on the channel.
Huh?
I'm not in a server.
Oh, we'll join.
I can't. I told you all the links died. I think.
It won't let me invite. I
So,
wonder if
yeah,
Moth's
I
killed
genuinely
off the
think
invites.
Moth
Oh?
completely closed it off at
What
some
about
point.
this?
What about this? Oh, that one worked. I
Bad
say.
channel, by the way. Yeah.
Swift leave. Great.
The shortest stay of all time.
That was fun. So, the next one.
Monster Jerry.
I've completely killed off any chances of the game reviving because after Slam Pinnacle 2's disaster, he signed me off of Jerry boards, and he also.
You completely cut out. Say that again.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. He's dead.
Oh no, he's been signed off of existence.
Moth came for him. He spoke too much.
Ghost of Moth.
God damn it. How do we continue? What the hell is he?
I could try to go off of what he was talking about. I think, yeah, Moth taking Slam Pinnacle 2 way too seriously when he signed off everybody from War of the Whiskers, I think definitely hurt the game. I think the biggest damage that could have happened to the game was his inability to keep, what was it called, Freevo going. Because y'all remember Freevo, he was just going to have like this huge barrage of games and some kind of Evo-like tournament. It was all like shitty games.
Battle construction vehicles,
like Shrek Super Slam and War of the Battle construction vehicles.
Yes.
And the War of the Whiskers, I think he wanted to be one of the biggest events of that tournament, but it just never happened. And because that never happened, it had a big damage on. Oh,
he's back. Okay. Yeah, I remember being in the Freevo Discord for ages, planning, and when it was going to happen, what games were going to run. It was quite lively for a while, and then I left and said, if it ever goes anywhere, feel free to re-invite me. I've never got that re-invite, so I'm guessing it didn't go anywhere. I genuinely like the idea of an online tournament full of stupid niche games, and I can't think of any off the top of my head, despite it being a kind of obvious idea. I also don't know where to look, but there was too much arguing and scenes coming and going quicker than the organisation could happen, etc., etc. I mean, it never had much depth to it anyway, did it? One time I played it, there's like 2 characters with different skins.
basically.
Yeah, it got
As
a
you
combo
said,
video anyway.
it was figured out in 10 minutes. There's not much to it.
The highest level set you could probably watch was me versus Squeechu at SummerSlam. But
Disaster.
If you give me a link to it,
it was so bad that we just played a different game in Grand Final.
nice. And I think was that different game Godzilla, because that segues very nicely. Nice.
Yeah,
okay.
brother.
Oh.
So in the episode itself, I think we even said it was dead. But very recently, there's been activity. Please describe this to me, because I'm very confused.
Okay, basically, I went over to the JB5 guy's house very recently because he had an Xbox, and one of the games he had on there was War of the Whiskers. Wait, it was Godzilla Save the Earth. Thank God, not War of the Whiskers. But so we started playing Save the Earth, and it had so many changes that Godzilla Destroy Monsters Melee had that I actually wanted to see if it was possible to net play it. Like old Godzilla Destroy Monsters Melee, right? It had juggle infinites because there was no juggle limit. Get up attacks could be blocked, so you could go for like an infinite combo just by like just reading your opponent's get up over and over again, right? Save the Earth, get up attacks are unblockable, and the juggle limit is 3. So it effectively removes infinites, and it also makes get up safe as long as you know what you're doing.
Is the engine... sorry, I'm carrying on.
The engine?
Is it like the same game as Destroy All Monsters Melee, but with these
Yeah,
improvements?
yeah, it's basically just like an update, kind of like
Okay.
Smash 4 to Smash 4.5. I mean Ultimate.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, hot takes.
Ooh,
I'm not
Did
sure we're
Mr.
allowed to say
Strange
that
make it?
anymore.
but yeah, it had a lot of needed improvements. So my next step was to see if there was any way to net play it. So I took this to PS2 because it's the only other platform I feel like has good net play. However, the game runs very slow on net play. It's very bad. It runs at like half the speed, probably less. And unluckily, it seems like it's the only game so far that I've tried net play with that seems to run slow. So that's a shame.
That sucks.
So that little surge of activity that came from Gojira boards was my slight hope that we could somehow get Unleashed or Save the Earth net play going. I mean, it's basically the only change that happened to Gojira boards is I updated Gojira boards to include not only Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee, but also Save the Earth and Unleashed. So just for like more of a general Discord, because Save the Earth net play was a thing. Now it doesn't seem like it will be, could be because of how damaging the slow gameplay from the net play is.
You should ask Mr. Strange for help getting that.
No. Was it made by the same studio?
Oh yeah, here's a fun thing to know. Save the Earth was Godzilla's 50th anniversary game, and our boy Mr. Strange was the one in charge of it.
Wow.
Woo!
Wow. I'm surprised he didn't talk about that then. Why didn't he just encourage you to play that? That's even
Tell
more
us to
strange.
play Save the Earth like literally all the time. Like, cause To Be More Crazy, I think it was, also had a Save the Earth scene, and that's the game that he was used to playing.
Yeah, there's a lot of the coastal areas, mostly West Coast, seems to have a lot of niche games for tournaments. Like Giza, the Power Stone Discord is pretty active right now because there's like 2 scheduled tournaments for like Dreamcast games, and Power Stone's going to get some attention there. And I'm assuming that's the same for Godzilla because there's like a Godzilla convention that had some Save the Earth tournaments that Mr. Strange talked about going to. So to be more crazy, apparently.
Oh, this is way bigger than I thought then. I thought this was some naff offshoot of Shrek from tired Shrek players who wanted to play a not melee game. This is legitimately surprising, but I'm guessing you're not going to be in attendance. Show them all
Nope.
I was gonna say your skills and then name one of the characters, but I realise I'm so uninvested I can't name a single character. Godzilla? Is he in it?
Yeah, brother.
Okay.
Wow.
Right. And
There's
isn't
2
there
of them actually.
there's a
No way. If
mecha
you count
one.
Space Godzilla, there's 3. If there's Mecha Godzilla, you're counting 2 more.
What? Okay, I've done it. That's all of them basically. So, well done. We did it. Is this game similarly easy to mod in that it's just a .text file? Have you looked?
Actually, JB5 guy tried to look at it. There's a file explorer on his Xbox because he modded the shit out of it, so he's able to do
Nice.
anything he wants with the games on there of backed up saves and backed up games. I mean, and so he looked at there. Is actually the same exact game rules.txt
Nice.
on the game. However, it says do not edit this because the one used in game data is the one that actually changes things, but there's no folder called game data, and the game rules.txt in that area doesn't do anything. So I'm thinking it's the Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee game rules text that they just threw in there for fuck all reasons.
Okay, I see. Well, that sucks. I mean, there must be a way to extract it.
I think it's
One
better.
day, but-
I think it's better it stays that way because I think Save the Earth is the closest that there is to a Godzilla game being competitive.
Okay.
If you made grabs unmashable like it is in Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee's ISO, it actually hurt the game more because it gives some characters some infinites, namely Space Godzilla. But yeah, that's just the thing. It's just a shame that Save the Earth can't be net played as smoothly as Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee can, or any other PS2 games that I've tried so far. It just sucks. Really unlucky.
Yeah. I mean, watch the space, I guess. The emulator's still being worked on, isn't it? I mean, they all are, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think if that's all we have to say on Godzilla, that leaves
No.
Oh,
Wait a minute.
Okay,
Wait a minute.
He's got more.
I'm gonna put this out there that there's a grand spanking new PS2 game to net play. I'm gonna drop it on you right now. War of the Monsters for everybody wanting that kaiju monster experience, but can't get it through Godzilla Save the Earth on PS2 net play. Let me introduce you to War of the Monsters. Woo! Imagine, right? Imagine Godzilla games fused with what's that one game called where you climb up the buildings and you eat people and you punch shit?
Tom and Jerry War of the Whiskers.
Spider-Man?
Yeah, that's the one. No, Spider-Man.
I heard climb up buildings, but then you started eating people.
Rampage. Imagine Godzilla plus Rampage, and like the whole game has projectiles and shit. If you want that kaiju itch, join the War of the Monsters Discord. Doesn't exist yet.
Will it exist by the time this goes up? Considering that it'll probably take longer to go up than usual because I got my project due in a week.
I'm gonna tell JB5 guy to make it.
Nice. Okay.
So it's in his hands.
Why is this?
Clearly sounds like a War of the Whiskers knockoff.
Why is this? It's because he said, I don't know. He seems really passionate about playing net play with it, so I'm just gonna leave it to him. The game's kind of fun. It's interesting. It's like it's like you have melee combat and you have split screen, but when you get close, the melee combat camera like takes over. But other than that, it's like a projectile based game where all the characters have projectiles and can pick up shit and throw it at each other. You can destroy everything in the environment, like all the buildings can be toppled over and shit.
I'm watching footage of it, and yeah, that pretty much describes it. One of the dudes is a robot and he has jetpacks and he can jump on buildings. It kind of reminds me of like the giant Clank sections from Ratchet and Clank, but with fighting, which is pretty cool. And
it was pretty unique for its time. It was made by the Twisted Metal developers, actually.
Oh, I love Twisted Metal. But as I was saying that, they were fighting, then a building fell on top of his opponent and the dude won.
Hey, RNG at its finest, mate. It's one of the reasons I won the battle.
That sounds pretty stupid.
Let's not talk about that, mate.
Okay.
That's actually really rare because usually only like one building can fall in the whole map.
Okay.
And it's really slow, so you have to be dumb to get hit by it. Or
Maybe
somebody just did a really sick ass combo.
Oh, he's climbing up buildings. Yeah. Yeah, it rarely reminds me of Giant Clank sections, except where he would crush a building by standing on them, you can stand on. He's not... It's like a middle-sized Clank from Ratchet and Clank. He's not big enough to just walk over the buildings. But he's big enough to crush cars and stuff.
Yeah,
it looks good enough. Links in the description to, I don't know, a gameplay video, the Discord, which may or may not exist. Will there be a forum? No, because forums are dead.
Ain't they?
Shrekboards literally hasn't had a post in forever. I don't bother checking. I think Gojira Boards has had literally 0 posts since we talked about it over a year ago. And
yep.
I don't even know if Jerry Boards exists. I certainly hope not. Yeah. So, with your new plug, your new venture, does anyone want to predict how long it will last?
A week.
A week. That was going to be my prediction.
After the Discord is made, I think a week.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
And then it's going to go down the same exact route Godzilla had. Tourney today, tourney tomorrow.
Do you think it will be played and people will realise it sucks, or do you think it won't be played for some reason, like the net play issue?
The net play on it seems fine. I've already net played it with 3 different people. It's good.
Okay.
There's a little slowdown in certain areas, but it's nothing like painful like in Godzilla Save the Earth.
Or
but
Shrek.
I think the game will die because the game I admit is a little bit simple.
Fair enough.
Just a wee bit simple. Also, it has the same problem Shrek does, where a lot of the auto combos can be blocked in the middle of.
Okay.
Although it's not too bad because the computer fucking is a piece of shit and throws stuns in the middle of combos. I got to figure out how they do that. So once I figure out that, the meta will be solved.
Okay. So currently we're at the level of the meta where the CPUs are the best players. This is good. Get in on the ground floor, everyone. This is going to take off. He's been crushed by another building. What do you mean this is rare? I've been
It is rare. I swear to God, it is rare. I legit streamed this game for fucking 2 hours trying to beat the game on the hardest difficulty, which is a bitch. And only once did somebody get crushed by the building, and it was because the fucking computer is an absolute fucking piece of shit. It broke the building and run under it itself to die.
This 11-minute video, which I jumped, the first maybe 5 minutes is setting up the game, which I've been watching for probably, no more than 5 minutes. It's happened twice. I haven't been entirely paying attention. Yeah, so, new cool scene, kids. Get on the ground floor before it gets figured out and we move on to the next one. You must be running out of games at this point. I keep wondering where you pull them out from.
Actually, War of the Monsters is one of the childhood games I played. All these games I seem to be pulling out are just from, like, games I played a little bit as a kid.
Huh.
We got one more to talk about, don't we?
Yes, was OPGA a childhood game?
I
guess
played
not.
One Piece Grand Battle. I didn't play OPGA.
I see. But how is OPGA going?
Actually, there's a lot of progress on it. Giza
The modding
has been
god,
kicking ass with some mods. We have a stage mod now, so we can get all the single player stages, which are actually
nice.
really good. They're just nice, flat. Like it's legit just square rooms, and there's like he's been kicking ass with balance mods and shit. Like the worst character, who wasn't even that bad comparatively to some other characters, is now like more balanced. A lot of characters are more balanced now. Just really good mods all around.
Yeah, very good. Does it have players?
Does it have players?
I've seen people I don't recognize talking about it.
Yeah, there's a little bit more effort in getting people like all around the world to try to get in here.
Yeah.
Like Giza has a post on the SNK forums. SNK. Sure, you can.
Yeah,
it
rings a bell. Yeah.
Yeah, he has a post on the Sure You Can thing. There's my videos and shit. So I'm just like, there's a lot more stuff for OPGA than the other shitty scenes that we've done that have it's got a lot more publicity, which I think is helping out a little bit. I mean, it's got over 60 members now. Yeah, it's not great, but it's at least better than Godzilla's members or Billy Board's amazing 14 members.
There was an attempt. Do you play it, Squay? You've been in like a couple of videos, but you don't talk about it much. I don't know.
One Piece fucking Grand Adventure.
Yeah.
I play against Brown Spring, dude. He's fun.
Oh yeah, Squeechu made a player rage quit. Can we just dedicate this part to Brown Spring?
Yeah.
I feel like we should dedicate the OPGA part to Brown Spring. Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
So, I wonder if I even mentioned this guy before in the last podcast. Did I?
Honestly, can't remember. How long ago was it?
He's been in there for a while. Well, I want to say he's been in there for a while, but he comes and goes in there a lot, depending on his mood. Well, he hasn't come back since, though. But basically, the rundown of him is he plays the games. He's one of those types that gets pissed off when he loses, and he'll leave the Discord. One of those guys that puts himself down like, oh, I'm shit. I'll never be as good as you guys. Shit like that. If he doesn't like your play style, like Squeechu when he played it, he'll say your play style is shitty and he'll quit instead of trying to learn the matchup and play styles and shit like that. Yeah, and he just left everything. Like the last time, he had a discussion about lolis and shit like that, like lolicon shit and DMs, and the guy just left everything I was in. Yeah, everything I was in, the guy just left. So, what a good guy, man. Although it's kind of shitty because it kind of hurts the scene a little bit because he was one of like the 3 people who were consistently playing. But I think it might be a little bit better that we don't have somebody as like that stains the scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It goes either way. It's like it's good without him because you don't get the personality, but it's kind of bad without him because you don't get the player.
Yeah. He was fine with losing to Giza and Provider because he was like, oh, because I remember that when I beat him, because the day before he was like, oh, I'm gonna beat up Squeechu with my own. I was like, I'm ready, dude. So I started playing him and I fucking camped against him. it was amazing. He kept like mashing, and I remember the reason he left was that he didn't mind losing to Provider and Giza because he thought that they were better than he thought they were better. His style was shit, and then I was fucking like not even playing properly. I got pissed off, dude.
It's a curse. It sounds like.
I was gonna say, yeah, you're cursed, dude.
Everywhere you go, you make people rage quit. How many people officially quit Super Slam because of you? I think.
Sorzan.
Yeah.
So,
I was gonna
saw
say
that twice.
Toast, but I don't know. He kind of seems to drift in and out, and at least one of the times was he claimed was you. I think.
I destroyed Toast's hands.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorzan, because I remember Sorzan used to stream quite a lot, and I remember he was streaming once, and I talked about Shrek Super Slam and like Toast, and he said that like Toast's hands were actually completely destroyed. Like he had to go to the doctor. He wasn't allowed to play like games anymore. He fucking had to wear fucking pieces like casts. Like he actually destroyed his hands because of my donkey.
Oh, chimpanzee, that's Brawlout news!
So, in episode 3, basically the entire episode was about Brawlout, a then early access Smash clone, which Squee had picked up and become like the best in the scene in like a week, less. And we basically discussed the characters and how bad it was. We don't like it, it's an awful game. But since then, the game came out and there was a big old tournament. Squee, please tell us about it, because you did enter despite having quit.
The simple thing to say is that there was some YouTuber that was making a lot of money that decided he wanted to blow out all of his money on hosting a big tournament in both Europe and America. European scene being 100 times worse and 100 times more dead. Got about a grand total of 30 entrants.
Nice.
Which is pretty interesting.
How much was the prize pot?
€600.
Nice.
Pretty good for a 30 entrant tournament, if you ask me. Especially one that didn't have any requirements, and especially one that had like tons of dropouts. For a long time, I was the best in the EU, but then someone actually decided to pick up a better character and learn how to cheese. So I became second in Europe. I didn't really care at that point because I never really wanted to be serious in the game anyway. I only got it to troll. So by the time this tournament rolls around, like half a year later after I've basically retired, not only is it free, I don't even have to try. I just don't care. I was very happy getting fourth and not getting anything, because this is Europe where we split things like third, second, and first.
Yeah.
Split 10, 30, and 60. Really dumb. It's pretty dumb, if you ask me.
Why is it pretty dumb?
That people in the top 8 don't get anything.
For a 30 entrant tournament?
Well, I mean, for bigger tournaments, it is pretty dumb. They do that at Air and stuff.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
But anyway.
It was really easy to get to second place, which I managed to do after throwing grand finals.
Why did you throw grand finals?
Because I could. Because like I already knew I was going to lose. I had lost winners finals 3-1, and I only took a game because I did some like really tricky, flashy shit. I was going to be able to win, so I might as well have just thrown. It was very free, and then since then I haven't really done anything in Brawlout. Brawlout's
understandable,
been, like, a pretty dead game. It came out on the Switch, and people started playing it and became normie again.
Oh god.
Recently, it started to die down, I'd say. They're adding new characters still, though.
Yeah.
They still look pretty meh.
So.
Ukulele.
Yep, it got ukulele.
It's a meh indie game for a meh indie game.
Yeah, it's like a perfect coupling. It's hilarious. And then Dead Cells. The character is called Dead Cells. I know nothing about it, and I found out that when I watched the reveal trailer, the game hadn't even come out yet. I think it is out now.
Dead Cells?
I think is it?
It was out before he was in Brawlout.
Was it? I swear I started seeing like reviews and release trailers after the fact. Am I being an idiot?
Nah.
Probably.
I've heard a lot about Dead Cells. Like Provider for one, who is muted by the way. He talked about Dead Cells a little bit before,
It looks
so I
really
knew
good.
about it.
I like pixel animation, which is what interests me about it. It's really stylized. I like it a lot. I think it left early access quite recently, actually.
Oh, that would be the release.
Oh my god. Early access, schmurly schmaxes. I don't understand why game companies like are doing that so much. It's so
Because you can
stupid. I
get
mean,
the sales.
people are already tired of the game before it's even released when they do.
I agree with this, yeah. And then people's general opinion of the game is what they played of it before it came out. Like
Yeah.
Brawlout, actually a good example because we
But
played
to be
it.
honest,
Oh, yeah.
even when it came out, it's still trash. So
Yeah.
The only point of it is like if you have the game and its fundamentals entirely down, that's when you use it just to like bug test and shit like that. You know what I mean? It's
I
like
can
a
see
free
that.
bug test kind of, but you still have to pay for the game. It's like the game is pretty much about to be finished. It just needs testers, and the way to test it is just throwing the game out to the fans already.
But a lot of people do not do that.
Yeah, a lot of
end up
people
just-
expect a more finished game when people do early access, not realizing that developers usually throw out pretty much the end experience right there and then they just charge while they just use early access as an excuse.
Yeah.
Dead Cells, I don't think did that. I think it did early access quite well. The game's pretty much got its kinks out, and it looks really good.
Yeah, some
And
games
since
are
it left early
fine.
access, I'm gonna play it now
Okay.
someday.
Yeah, so he's in Brawlout. Ukulele is in Brawlout. It's getting a PS4 release. I think it got an Xbox release. I don't know. It got a Switch release. A quick look at the subreddit seems to indicate there aren't many players, and also a lot of people seem to hate the progression system. I've read. Apparently,
There's not a lot of players on Reddit because they're all freaking normies playing the game. Like that creepy like dude who wanted to play with me.
What?
What? I told you about this guy who like I walk away after a friend of mine's talking to him about like Xenoblade 2. I come back and he's telling a story about how he like tried to push his mom down the stairs to try to kill her. But now he's like a reformed Christian dude.
I truthfully don't remember this. When you say you discussed it before, do you mean on an episode or?
No, not on an episode.
Go ahead then, because I don't remember this.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. This is an interesting story. So, like last semester, I had a friend, an old friend from high school. We just encountered each other, and he was playing on a Switch setup. I was there, and I'm like, "Oh, yo, Ozzy, what's up, dude?" And he's like, "Hey." And then, so we're like sitting there, but there's this other guy there, the guy who had the Switch setup, and he's like this. I mean, he was just a guy there, and he said, "Oh, hey, I'm blah blah blah. Nice to meet you. What's your name?" I'm like, "David." I forgot the guy's name, but for whatever reason, he remembered mine perfectly every time. Anyways, like, so I'm there. I'm trying to talk with Ozzy, but the guy keeps like, you know, talking every once in a while. And like it was just kind of like the point where it was just me and him talking, Ozzy, and then like the other guy was like playing Switch with somebody else, I think, but he kept like trying to talk to us. But then like he started getting a lot more like invasive and weird. Like like one day I just leave, come back, and yeah, I told you he was like talking about like how he tried to push his mom down the stairs and how he's a reformed Christian.
Oh.
I'm like, okay, like he tried to kill his mom. I'm like, what the heck? That's kind of weird. How did the conversation go from Xenoblade to that? And so I'm walking, I'm like, what was that thing about his mom or something? Trying to kill? And he's like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And so okay, Ozzy, bless his soul, he's really naive. And he doesn't like pick up on weird things, I don't think. But he's like, oh yeah, but he's like reformed now. I'm like, that's kind of weird. How did the conversation go from Xenoblade to that? He's like, I don't know, he just randomly mentioned it. I'm like, okay. Next week, we meet again. We're just talking about games and stuff, and all of a sudden he starts going on a conversation about how he found like an adult magazine from his dad and started selling videotapes he ordered in the mail to like his friends and made a ton of money. But then he had to pay back the videotapes, so he mowed the lawn to pay it off. And just sitting there like, what does this have to do with anything? Like, what the heck? Why we're just talking about games and then you just randomly say that? What the heck? So I'm getting a little weird by this guy because he's just saying like these things, these like weird stories to prove how Christian he is. It's kind of weird. Nothing against Christians, but he was just kind of weird. And then like all of a sudden, he finds out. He's like, "What do you do? What do you do for fun?" He asked me. He's like, "I want to know what makes you tick." And I'm like, "I play games." And he's like, "Yeah, but what else? You into sports?" Uh, he's like, I'm really into racquetball. You want to play racquetball with me? We'll play racquetball together." And this is like the third time I've like seen him in like a 30-minute session, and he wants to like play sports with me and my friend. I'm like, "Nah, I just play video games." He's like, "Do you do anything else?" And I'm like, "I make video games, I guess." He's like, "You make video games? Listen, listen. Okay, I have an idea for a game. It's called it's based off of a biblical thing. It's called like the Tower of Johnny or whatever. I don't know, some like weird Christian name." I'm like, "Okay." And he's like, "Doesn't that seem cool?" And I'm like, you just have the title, right? You didn't have any idea of how the gameplay is?" And he's like, "No, no, but you can make it. That's what's great, right?"
Nice. The ideas guy.
He's the ideas guy, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm kind of busy with school." And he's like, "Ugh, who needs school? Come on, we'll make it on a Switch. It'll be great. We'll make a Switch video game and people will play it because the titles are really cool." And I'm like, I'm just like, and I'm like, what? And then Ozzy is like, you know how much it costs to get a dev kit for the Switch? He's like, "How much? I'll pay it. I'll pay it.
You should have taken it.
$1,000. And he's like, "I'll pay it. I'll throw the money right down right now. We'll do it. Let's go into business together. Please, please, please." I'm like, no, I mean, yeah. I have like, school." And he's like, "You don't want to do it, huh? No, come on. Seriously, I mean it." I'm like, I'm good." And he keeps bugging me about it. Ozzy's like, "Okay, I'm gonna go because I have to catch a bus." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I'll go with Ozzy." And he's like, "Come on, I mean it. Seriously, think about it. I never went back.
I'm just gonna say, don't be near any staircases around him. Otherwise, you might end up the same fate as his mum.
Oh God, no.
Jesus, in you telling that, I remembered that you'd mentioned someone asking you about to make a Christian game, but I did not know any of the previous story. Good God, what a weird dude.
Yeah, he's like, "So," I'm like, "Dude, I told Ozzy I'm not going back. I'm not." And I'm like, "I don't feel comfortable around him." He's like, "Yeah, I mean, it's understandable, but I like being exposed to different people. It's very interesting." And I'm like, "Yeah, I do too, but sometimes you gotta know when things are a little weird." I don't know.
What a dude. So Brawlout.
Yeah, and oh yeah, he was playing Brawlout on the Switch.
Oh, okay. That's
Really
how it all
big into
ties together.
Brawlout and Mario Kart. He played
the true
and
sign
Rocket
of a freak, to be
League.
honest.
Is there anything else to add on awful game scenes? Does Panda Board still exist?
Yes, and it's
Yeah.
fucking toxic.
What?
Not like really just annoying. It's like I look in there and it's full of shitty memers and some people taking the shit way too seriously.
Can I just fill people in real quick, because I don't think we've ever actually mentioned it in an episode before. The game is Kung Fu Panda...
Legend of Legendary Legends?
Showdown of Legendary Legends.
Cool. It's an awful Smash clone. Every character's animations look like they have 3 frames total. It looks dreadful. It's got a huge list of characters for some reason. And quite a while ago now, a Discord was made for it, and people played it. Then an alpha rad video came out on it, as these things normally do. I think they got one of the devs in or something. I don't know. I've never really joined it. I think I joined
messaged the devs and they said they were happy people found this much enjoyment in it, but
then it also said please leave us alone. Okay, so continue. It's still around.
It full of people who just take it way too seriously and some bad memers, man. I'm pretty sure a lot of them came from Alpharad shit, and Alpharad fans usually don't bring the best. I'm sorry, but I've just never seen a positive influence on the scene once the Alpharad fans came in.
Alpha bad.
But a lot of funny shit happened in this Discord, man. Like, I believe at one point, Squeechoo made JB5 Guy a mod, and we just told him to ban everybody. And he just started machine gun banning.
He actually did ban everyone. Everyone was banned. There was fucking 5 members. It was fucking...
Did they all come back, or was it
yeah,
like...
they did. 8 people came back.
Why? That would have been a blessing in disguise, man.
The thing is, I unmodded him and like I kicked him, and then Red Riding Shrek was like, "Hey, where did all the people go?" And I was like, "Hey man, JV5 Guy was a bad mod."
Completely gets the blame off of you. The only thing you did wrong was making him mod, man. He abused the powers.
And you telling him to ban it.
Oh my god!
That was his responsibility, dude.
Nice.
December 25th, 2017. JV5 Guy, make me ownership for Christmas.
This is so we just destroy scenes wherever we go. This is good. This is good. I like this.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
Who spends their Christmas going on Discord asking to get ownership?
Isn't this the same group of people? Didn't you guys have a tournament, a Shrek Super Slam tournament on Christmas Day once?
Shrektimus Eve.
Oh.
Rise of the Mid.
Yeah, it was Shrektimus Eve, but it was on Christmas. That was a tournament that spawned Huff and Puff, wasn't it? Huff and Puff level 10 CPU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It entered one tournament before.
No. That was the Rise. That was
okay.
Rise of the Mid Tiers.
So you are exactly the kind of people who do this kind of thing on Christmas.
Wow.
I'm glad to say I have no part in it.
Wasn't it only like Squeechoo and Sarger and the level 10 CPU wolf that tournament?
Yeah. Wasn't there one other person? I swear I had 4, because the level 10 CPU wolf was thrown in because there wasn't enough members, right?
As well.
To make a
But then she wasn't there.
a 4-player bracket.
Sirens didn't show up. So it was just me, Sarger, and level 10 CPU wolf.
Yeah.
So
the wiki agrees.
So after you've played, right, in a JV5 guy tournament, what would you rather take part in, a Scrub Junior tournament or a JV5 guy tournament?
Oh,
take your pick.
Miserable, dude. I'd say JV5 guy because at least it starts on time.
Damn.
JV5 Guy is very dedicated. He hosts tournaments on Christmas and he doesn't show up late. What a man.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty good as far as hosting Shrek tournaments goes. It's basically all you can ask for. And a low turnout, so it actually finishes in a timely manner.
What about Scrub Junior versus Sarger tournaments, dude?
Oof.
Sarger?
Well, he only run the one.
Oh, yeah, he had a Slamtober, didn't he? Yeah.
That wasn't entirely his fault, because the commentators, on the minute the tournament started, were like, nah, can't be bothered with that.
Yeah, because they went to a party instead, didn't they?
Yeah, but they'd already said that, and they said that they would commentate it anyway, and I think we all knew that wasn't going to happen. I'm not sure why they didn't just find a backup one. But then we got the Amazing J stream, where he kept adding like WWE effects mid-stream. It was great. 10 out of 10 stream.
I wish the whole VOD was saved.
Yes, there's like one match on Sarge's channel. That does mean going on Sarge's channel. Not recommended. But you can see some of the flashy effects. They're pretty funny.
Because that was one of the only times me and Toast fought, and it was like a streamed or recorded. And every single fight of me and Toast, except for the cruise, was lost to the fucking void.
Such as Twitch, man. It's a shame they don't just keep stuff. Many good VODs have fallen. can't think of any examples off the top of my head, but many good VODs. Well, APO 1, a moment in history.
APO 3.
APO 3 was not on Twitch, you fool.
Lost, dude.
But it was recorded and lost, yeah. And it took forever to get the stupid streaming setup up. Oh man, I'm so annoyed. And to set up the console with codes. Oof. Hideous. But anyway, talking about Shrek is banned. Not very interesting.
Yeah, George.
Yeah. That's legendary Cyclops main George to you, fellas. Need I remind you that the first game of Shrek I played was on his copy. He is the founder of the scene, whether he likes it or not. He will always try and pretend he isn't, but his copy is the ancient one written in the scrolls.
Does that mean it's the third most expensive copy of Shrek Super Slam?
No, there's 3 now because we had a recent development on this for people who aren't in the Discord and actually listen to this.
Wait, it would be the 4th.
So we got a new most expensive copy because some random went to SmashCon, was it? Or Evo? A big melee tournament.
SmashCon, right?
Yeah.
He's not random.
Is he not?
We already have full signed.
He's assistant regional manager at Nightmare Enterprises.
Mhm.
I don't know. I just read that on his Twitter.
Fair enough. So some random, but he managed to get signatures from like every melee player. He got Hungrybox, I think. He got Mewtwo King. He got Armada, which is really annoying because at Air 2, me and Lord Ape and a bunch of others went to Armada and asked if he wanted to play Super Slam, and he was like, "Nah, I'm not about that life."
Signing it's different than playing.
Yeah, I know. We should have just asked that. Yeah, he's got a few players I don't actually know because I don't follow Smash that much. He got Leffen, pretty good. He got West Balls. He got Chew. He got M2K. He got Nairo. He got Wizrobe, Armada, Mango. It's got all of them. Like this is a pretty top tier signed copy of Super Slam. And then I think he got even more after that. What a dude. So this is officially the most expensive copy. Then, do both of you own one? Both Square
Yeah,
provided?
I've got an Xbox One. He has a GameCube one.
And they're both signed by the
brother.
developers?
Yep. Well, a good amount of the developers.
Yeah.
Because like not everybody moved on to free range games, I believe it's called.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah,
I-
the dude from the Discord left, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, he left a while
Bad
ago.
times. So that's... Yeah. Those are probably tied for second. Have you ever compared them? Do they both have the same set of signatures?
I
Yeah.
don't think we have you, because my picture's still on like Twitter.
Pictures still on Facebook.
So yeah, you could just compare
Put
them
up
side
for
by
you if you
side.
want.
As a certified Shrek expert, I'm not sure how to appraise these, because I think the GameCube copy is more common. I've seen more of them, but it's also the only one anyone wants, because it's the only one people play. So is the GameCube copy more expensive or the Xbox one?
Notice that it's NTSC, so even if I opened it up, I couldn't play it.
Are Xbox region locked? Boxes? I think they are. I don't know. I've never been an Xbox child. I'm going to Google it.
The classic mic mute so you can type without being cancer. Did you mute it in OBS, bud, or is the recording just being fucking bombarded with
balls.
keystrokes?
No! Oh no! Oh, I've done it loads. I've done it loads. This is not the first time this recording that I've done it. Oh, balls!
Yeah.
Oh no! The original Xbox as well as the Xbox 360 are region locked, so yes.
Shit.
Oh no! I'm so annoyed.
Just leave it in, mate.
Apologies. To top it all off, okay, so yours are second and third. I'm gonna say that there's more demand for the GameCube one. So you come in at second, well done, provider. We're at third. And then number 4, the almighty ZSS owns a copy signed by me, Lord Ape, Not Lousy, Crumpet, and maybe Rash Attack, and a few, like a couple of others. It's basically worthless. He should get rid of it immediately. Never mention it to me again. Now,
What if you sent that copy around the world, right? Got everybody who's ever participated to sign that shit, dude.
I mean, the Smash one would still be more valuable.
Well, of course.
And probably, like, if we're talking in raw, putting it on eBay and selling it, I think the Smash one would
Yeah, go
definitely
for jack
be more
shit.
interested. The developers one you could maybe get a little bit for because they actually care. Yeah, no one would actually care. No one would buy a copy signed by effectively random people. But it would hold the
I
most
would.
value to us in our hearts.
Dude.
But
But
there's
also
more
don't give up.
signatures on it.
How would you pass that down? Like families, like do you just kill the fucking copy? It's like, yes, son, here is my copy of Shrek Super Slam signed by all my fucking Shrek friends. Mate. Carry this with you for the rest of your life. It's like, how do you pass that down? Where does it go?
You don't.
Family heirloom.
Yeah.
You bury it with you, so the world never has to know about it.
You'd be fine being buried next to a copy of Shrek Super Slam.
Okay, just incinerate it. Get rid of it somehow. I don't know.
Oh. You gotta keep it so no one makes the same mistake.
Yeah, good point. A warning to generations. Okay, so I can think of 2 more things I want to discuss. So, we can actually talk about Shrek things.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Are you sure you want to do that?
Let's put it at the end so people just stop listening. And we got the follow-up to the Ooga Booga conspiracy. I'm going to pre-warn people that it's not amazingly interesting. It's certainly not as big as the revelation itself. As a quick refresher on the Ooga Booga conspiracy, Ooga Booga was a Dreamcast game made in like 2001. I don't know. Yeah, 2001. And some random join the Shrekboards Discord posted an awful poster. We laughed at it. Then last episode, we saw that the Wikipedia page was vandalized and claimed that IGN gave it a 10 out of 10. We found out they did not give it a 10 out of 10, but they did give it a 9.4 out of 10, which is ridiculously high. We then found out the author of the review went to work for the company that made Ooga Booga no more than 3 months after the review was posted. That's pretty fishy. So, in the last episode, we saw that there was a retrospective podcast where a bunch of the old IGN authors and editors were doing a big podcast. I listened to it not long after the episode, so I don't actually remember too much of it, but there wasn't too much to remember. It was basically just office hijinks for the most part. They built like a fort out of cardboard boxes or something. I don't know. But one thing they did mention was that apparently the Ico review, the PS2 game Ico. Ico? Shut up.
It's Nihon.
Does that mean I'm right or he's right?
No, he's right.
He's right.
Because
Ico?
you know, like Japanese vowels and stuff.
No, I don't. But the only people who have ever discussed it to me in person have said Ico. But I'm willing to change to Eco if it pleases you guys.
It's like I, A, E, O, U.
Okay, so Ico. So Eco.
Okay.
Eco.
Yeah.
Okay. So they were saying, they mentioned the review of Eco and they said it was well regarded as a particularly good review, like one of the best that they'd done in recent times or something. Now, remembering the score that Ooga Booga got, do you guys want to guess at what Eco got?
9.
Point.
9.
Nope.
No, not 9. I mean, just 9.
Nope.
9.0.
Nope.
9.4.
Exactly. It got the exact same score as Ooga Booga.
Whoa.
And do you want to know when the review came out? 1 week after the Ooga Booga review. It was not written by the same guy. He only worked on the Dreamcast section. But they're saying that one of their most well-regarded reviews for a really well-regarded game, like, everyone loves that game. The only real criticism I've heard of it is that some people like Shadow of the Colossus better. Does anyone have any negative things to say about it before we carry on?
The box art for America.
Good point. Yeah, it's awful. Ooh. I've been playing for it for like a year, and I think it's pretty good. But yes, this game, critically lauded, pretty much regarded as a classic, one of the best games on the system. 17 years later, got the exact same score as Ooga Booga, baby. And while we're on the topic, you want to know what other games came out in 2001 and got similar scores? Jak and Daxter got a 9.4, same score. Civilization 3, 9.3, not as good as Ooga Booga. Final Fantasy X got a 9.5, only slightly better than Ooga Booga. Super Smash Bros. Melee, 9.6. Pro Skater 3, 9.7. Metal Gear Solid 2, 9.7. But all of these are on par, or only very slightly better, than the amazing, the incredible Ooga Booga. What a game. The only other update is that someone revived the servers. There's like some Dreamcast server revival project, and they recently announced that you can replay Ooga Booga, and people actually seemed excited about it. So I guess if you have a Dreamcast and a copy of the game, or can get one, then come and buy this critically lauded game, the greatest game on the Dreamcast, the greatest game of 2001, the best game with kahunas ever. It sounds incredible. Someone please do, because I really want to know about it. The only other thing I wanted to discuss then was 2 that I can think of, upcoming Super Slam tournaments. So we got your one that you yelled very loudly about at the beginning. But before we get to that, there was this other one, ShrekCon or something?
Oh, the ShrekCon?
Yeah. So, someone else describe it, because I've been talking forever.
Does
anybody even know?
There's like a video that was like really freaking weird.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, somebody sent it to me, and I posted the Shrek boards, and then a week later somebody else posted the same video, the Shrek boards.
Someone joined, didn't they? Asking about it. They said they were asking about the game and how they like set it up so that they could run it at ShrekCon. And then we looked at videos for it and we were like, what the hell is this? It was pretty weird. I've tried to find it since and I couldn't. I might give it a search now, but...
Oh man, I can't find it.
No,
this might require a lot of scrolling up and shit.
Neither can I, yeah. I've just searched con, but it hasn't even come up with many results. I'm already way far back. Oh, this is really annoying. I really want to find this stupid video and at least like link it and discuss it, because it was weird. Firstly, I was surprised none of us had ever heard of it.
Shrek Fest!
Shrek, that was the one, thank you.
Okay, there it is.
Thanks
I
very much.
freaking
It's
lost
September
it.
2nd.
Yeah.
Look at the back of the video where it announces the date. September 2 ST.
Oh man, it's 2ST! Seconds!
Seconds.
Oh my god! This video is just full of like really freaking weird stuff. Like there's a part of it where like it just says like Shrek Fest in Rugrats font.
Yes, this whole thing. Oh man. Okay, so if anyone wants to go to ShrekFest, I'm not sure. I think we can get the episode out beforehand. It's in Madison, Wisconsin, on the 2nd of September this year. I think there was like a Facebook page you had to sign up to. The trailer then goes to a video of a man in a very unofficial Shrek costume with really weird eyes. And there's a really heavy purple filter over the entire video with a bunch of Comic Sans people yelling it and saying they want to go. Then the fonts just go a bit mental. One of them's a Rugrats font. Oh, we've got a sweet... Oh man, there's like a PowerPoint 2000 default theme. And I can attest to this because I remember using it when I was a young'un. Oh, this takes me back. And some clip art. But anyway, they've got live music. They've apparently got refreshments. Exclusive merch of the Shrek Fest.
They have an onion eating contest where all the participants have to eat a whole raw onion. Unpeeled.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
And the footage of that was pretty grim. I think
it's crunchy.
Yeah, it made me gag a little bit. It was awful. People would just eat onions whole and then do more. Awful.
There's like Pin the Tail on the Donkey, where a dude runs around in a donkey costume, and they try to pin a tail on him.
Oh, this isn't even the right video. This is the one advertising this year. There was a highlights reel of last year. Yeah, ShrekFest 2017 recap, which goes more into detail about what they did, and it's suitably horrible.
You know, oh yeah, the best part, which I genuinely think is good, is when they watch outdoors Shrek, the movie.
That sounds fair enough. It'd be fun.
Yeah, that sounds like the only like not weird part.
But at the same time, you'd have to travel to an outdoor screening of Shrek with a bunch of people who've also travelled to an outdoor screening of Shrek. I'm not sure I could do it. It's so weird. Yeah, there's the onion. This footage of people eating the onions is actually hideous, and this one guy just tanks it and eats a ton, and goes on for ages, and it's really weird. There's a roaring contest where people roar. Reminds me of a classic video, the pig squealing competition. I think I've linked this before. It's a bunch of very strange people going up to a stage and doing their best pig squeal impression. It's so weird, at like a county fair or something, and oh god, it's awful. It's just the worst. Link in the description.
I think ShrekFest has something similar. It's Do the Roar challenge or something.
At least it isn't as bad as like 50-year-old woman coming up and squealing and she can as a pig. But man, it's not much better.
Do you think the people at ShrekFest are like post ShrekChan, or were they like around during ShrekChan?
I do wonder this as well. I've seen it being mentioned a lot more. Some people mentioned it recently. Of the glorious ShrekChan. I'm honestly, again, surprised that it hasn't come up before. Because...
You seriously did not know about ShrekChan?
I genuinely only found out about it quite recently. Do you know? If you know more about it, please go on. I'd love to actually hear about what it was. Was it basically just 4chan but Shrek?
Yeah, I mean, sort of. Yeah, it was like a thread board thing with Shrek.
Was it big? Because a lot of people seem to have discussed it. It's been featured in Did You Know Gaming at least.
It got... Okay, this is what happened. It was like big, and they had like a lot of weird inside jokes, and it was like really fun. I heard in the early days it was the best. And then somebody on there wrote, Shrek is love, Shrek is life.
Oh, is that where it came from?
Yes.
I legitimately thought it came from 4chan.
No, it came from ShrekChan.
Huh.
And that was like the bomb that like just blew up, and there was no going back past that. Soon the whole ShrekChan became like really gross fan fictions with Shrek.
Oh.
It just turned into that, and it got like really just dumb and stupid, and people like romanticizing about Shrek and really weird.
The people just trying to outdo each other on Shrek is love, Shrek is love.
Yes.
I see. And that was it? Did they mention something about Dog-chan or something?
Pig-chan.
Pig-chan.
It turned into Pig-chan.
Why?
Don't know. I guess they just did it. I don't know the full lore, but I do know that supposedly it stemmed from a video series online by this guy named C-Boy-RD, who made really weird videos of like Dilbert and stuff.
Yes, I was going to ask, is he the one you've mentioned before? Your inspiration. These videos are so strange. Link in the description. There's so many links in this episode. Jesus Christ.
Isn't that where Bulk Up for the big game is from?
Yes.
Yes, and a lot of other very, very quotable phrases. But he had a segment called Shrek Joke of the Day. And he would start out and he'd be like, my friends call me the Shrek comedian. And so like the whole video would basically be one Shrek joke. And it's so long and bad, and it was like an anti-joke. He would be like, I forget one, but it was just a bad Shrek pun that was like so forced and bad. I don't remember any, but that's basically he was the one that made the name Shrek, just the word Shrek, a joke. And then soon after, ShrekChan was created, and just Shrek, the concept of Shrek, was made fun of. It's really interesting, actually.
Yeah, it's good. It's some actual history, not about the crappy game, but about the meme itself. I do remember thinking this when I was a young'un, that it just seemed to become a meme overnight almost. Obviously,
Yes.
I'm guessing not, because by that point, Shrekker's Life and all that had already happened. But clearly,
Yes.
it was building up before the normies like me saw it. But
Yeah, Shrek is Love, Shrek is Life was officially the normie.
yeah, but it just
Like,
seems so
era.
out of the blue because it was like 10 years after the film came out or something. Like, why now? Nothing had happened regarding it or anything.
C-Boy RD.
Yeah.
He's the one. I think his videos were in like 2012. So that was around the time where people started really Shrekking it up, I guess.
And ever since then, it's caused us all to do horrible things that we.
Yeah, I agree.
So I did a bit more digging into Shrek Fest. Firstly, according to the Facebook group, 1.5k people are going, so 1,500. So you could be one of them. Don't go. It's at McPike Park in Madison, Wisconsin. There's as well as being hosted. So the Facebook group says it's being hosted by 3 companies. Being hosted by Shrek Fest, understandable, and it's also being hosted by OPGA, which claims to be some kind of media company or something, but they literally don't discuss anything other than Shrek Fest. So I don't really know. I guess it's just a front for Shrek Fest. I don't know.
RGI, I think that it's like their YouTube channel or something that like they made the Shrek Fest videos.
Okay.
Yeah, it
High
is.
quality editing.
And then on top of that is WSUM 91.7 FM, a student-run radio station in Wisconsin, and that's basically it. So once again, college students with too much time on their hands have done something horrible involving Shrek. We did it. Now they're doing it. So the worlds may collide if they actually run this tournament. We haven't really heard from them recently, so either they got it worked out or they gave up because they were a horrible idea. But those are your folks hosting ShrekFest, basically. It's a radio station run by students. But good for them, I guess, renting a field? I don't know. It all seems a bit strange. The trailers are very weird and worth a watch. I'll link them. Go if you want. It certainly seems better than playing the game or listening to this. So enjoy that, I guess.
Hold on a minute.
Ooh.
I perhaps wouldn't travel to it, but if you happen to live in Madison, none of us do. And
Even if you live in Madison, you could
We need-
probably have a better weekend. Well,
we need to contact them about getting a stall. We could do a live episode. Every podcast has to have
Yeah.
the live episode.
Yo, they should fly us out there.
Yeah, come on, right. We're contacting
Come
them.
on.
Might be a bit expensive. And kind of short notice, 2nd of September. Anyone got anything going on? I don't think I do.
I
Shrek
probably
Timber, dude.
do.
Well, you can put it off. It'll be fine.
Oh, Shrek-timber.
Of
Did
course.
you say
Yeah.
Shrek-timber?
Don't want to miss Shrek-timber, dude.
That's
Hey,
the
man,
day
I'm here
before.
Tournament, dude.
Yes, the time has come. Please tell us about Shrek-timber without yelling, preferably.
Shrek-timber, you say?
Yes.
Well, I'm sure you know of the rules.
I don't.
No.
You don't? All right, so this is fresh for you.
Red Riding Hood's legal, right?
Yes, Red Riding Hood will be legal for Shrek-timber. And Shrek-timber will also feature the first net play tournament that will have the items code and the disabled triggers code off. That means items are back. Fireplaces deal damage to slam. Also, gonna throw this out here. Every stage is legal.
Ooh.
Oh.
Does this include
now-
debug stages? Can we strike to debug stages?
There will be debug stages. However, let's not get into that just yet.
Ooh.
For now, I think it's time for this. Yes. I think it's time for on this podcast for the new, freshest reveals
Oh, good
for
lord.
Shrek-timber.
Okay.
Shrek-timber will feature
Future.
many game types, mate. I'm talking some crazy shit. It's going to be RNG, mate. You'll get a random game that I have pre-selected. Many of these pre-selected games are going to feature things such as slow motion 2-stock Shrek dittos, Red Riding Hood 3 stocks, just like in Slam. Wait, what was it called? Slam in the Swamp. Just the Slam in the Swamp rules.
Yeah.
We're gonna go back to that
Ooh.
for one of the pre-selected game modes. Robin Hood 1 stock race platforms,
Ooh. Beautiful.
and many more.
Doesn't race platforms crash the game?
No,
Oh, I swear one of them did.
how could you?
Double check that. I swear it does, but maybe I'm wrong. No, I don't think it does. I swear there were two
No, it was
tower
like an
stages.
FX room. It was like an FX room or something that crashed the game.
I fixed that one, but I screwed the code up. But anyway, what? Why are you doing this? What possessed
Why am I
you?
doing this? To finally put an end to this goddamn game. I'm just kidding. It'll be for one time before the game finally dies. Have some fun, man.
Oh,
Have some good old fun. Get a good old experience, man.
isn't
Then
that
the game
nice?
can finally die.
will that mark the end of Crumpet casting?
Sure.
I hope not.
That's when we make the new podcast, man. Not about Shrek. You heard George, man. He said it's good when we don't talk about this shit.
Well, we gotta keep the name. That's the branding, my dude. Right, how many entrants did you get for it? I can't remember.
I don't know how many it's at right now, but it's a lot more than any other tournament that's been here for a while, man. You excited? You gonna join?
1st of September. Well,
Yep.
I don't think I'm doing anything. I am busy.
Oh,
12 people? Wow.
yeah, it's gonna be big.
That's big. And all... I was going to say all the boys, but I actually don't recognise a lot of these people. But
Yeah, who are these people? What the heck?
we got Provider, we got Scrub Jr., we got Squeechu, we got
I'm not
JV5 guy.
I'm just there to make the list look bigger.
Oh. You gotta play. You don't believe in the concept, my dude?
What do you mean? I got to run the tournament, mate.
I guess you gotta control the spinner.
Think of how slow. Yeah, I gotta control the spinners, mate.
Are you
Think of how
gonna,
slow
like,
it runs
stream
if I
the
started
spinner?
playing as well.
You gotta
Yeah, brother.
Okay, this is. I'll watch this, or at least watch a VOD. This sounds pretty fun to me. Will be nice. It will be nice.
Get like a spinner out in real life and like.
I don't know about real life, mate.
Wait. I noticed a contradiction in your statements.
Nani?
Objection.
Yeah.
Omae wa mo shinderu.
Yeah, you said that you have like specific game modes like Shrek versus Shrek and Robin Hood versus Robin Hood. But if that's the case, right?
Yeah.
Then doesn't that mean for those games Red Riding Hood isn't legal?
Whoa, man.
I mean, I guess.
Are you just putting that to hype it up?
Well, my good sir, here's the thing. There also include other game modes where you can pick your character, mate.
Oh.
Is Slam in the Swamp rules? Does it have to be Red Riding Hood dittos, or can you pick anyone?
Yep. It's Red Riding Hood dittos.
Okay, you gotta relive.
I gotta relive the grand finals, you know what
Okay.
I
The best set ever in all of
And-
Shrek.
And unless it says otherwise, from the game rules from the pre-selected match, it'll be 4 stocks in 6 minutes. So hopefully it doesn't last as long as the usual tournaments.
We
They
have
go
a
5 stocks, 8 minutes.
We have Slamageddon as one of them.
Yes, Slamageddon and King of the Hill are going to be included.
Nice. Oh, King of the Hill. Always one of my favorites.
Sounds pretty great.
Yeah, this sounds pretty legit.
I honestly thought there might have been, something else afoot,
A little bit of an adventurous side to the tournament. A grand adventure.
Oh no.
Oh.
The spin wheel might include some other games, might not.
I see.
I guess we'll find out when we get there.
How big is this wheel going to be? I feel like you've made it more modes than there are games that will be run.
Yeah.
Who knows, man?
Wow.
It's all RNG.
It's all RNG. Does this include grands? Is there a special rule for grands? Are you gonna, or is it all down to the wheel?
Grands will add a few more games to the list.
Okay, interesting.
It'll have its own games pretty much.
Well, if you want inspiration, the Nintendo World Championships, I think 2015, that was particularly cheesy. It was so weird. All the losers brackets were like retro games, but then there was 4 players, and it was all strange. I remember one of them was a Super Metroid Escape. I think only one of the guys of the 4 playing, like at the end. I think I've never played Super Metroid. Squee, please correct me. But is it at the end or something? There's Ridley, and you have to escape, and the room's going to blow up.
Ridley dies a long time before that.
Spoilers.
That's the beginning. Are you talking about the beginning of the game?
I guess I am talking about the beginning. Yeah. Okay, cool. The beginning then.
Okay.
The beginning, brother.
Yeah, and they did that, and I think only one of them had ever played Super Metroid before, so that was pretty fun, because all of them basically just died.
Yeah, the problem with the last Nintendo World Championships was the qualifying round that they had. You had to play like 3 games, but the one that was worth the most points was Mario Kart. So bunch of people who were Mario Kart speedrunners got into the freaking tournament, but they weren't good at any other game.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Which Mario Kart?
8 it would have been at the time, right?
I think, yeah, it would have been 8.
This was not long after Smash 4 had come out, I think. It was about half a year, because it was 2015 at E3. And in the grand finals, they were trying to hype up Mario Maker. So they'd made, obviously the Mario Maker has the 4 modes.
That was the one that they did before. I was talking about the last one.
Oh, was there a more recent one? I thought that was a more recent one.
There was a more recent one, and it was even worse.
Oh, jeez. Okay, please go on.
It was so bad. Yeah, because they're all Mario Kart players. Like, they had, for one of the fights, they had to play ARMS. And it did the game the biggest injustice known to man. It was awful to watch. I mean, it was sick. And the commentators are trying their hardest to say anything good about what was being experienced, and I think one person literally lost connection in their Joy-Con or something. It was awful.
Did they have to use motion controls?
Yes.
Nice one. When was this?
Yeah,
I honestly don't remember this. This is really weird.
I don't even know what y'all are talking about.
Some E3s, I thought they don't. Well, okay, for the super in-depth context, and I say in-depth, but it's like a sentence. Back in the 80s or something, they ran the Nintendo World Championships, and you had to play some games. I think
you had to play 3 games.
Yeah, Super Mario Bros. Was one of them.
Tetris, and Dr. Mario.
Dr. Mario.
No,
okay.
not Tetris. Was it Tetris? Yeah, no, I don't know.
I'm gonna give it a swift Google.
I think it was.
Did you remember to mute this time? In OBS, brother?
Yes.
Good job.
Okay. Because it was 1990. And it was Rad Racer, Super Mario Bros. And Tetris.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I knew it was some kind of racing game, but I couldn't remember. So now it was a tournament. You played those games. There were the legacy they left behind was they made these cartridges with the 3 games on them: Ridge Racer, Rad Racer, Tetris, and Super Mario Bros. And then the winners got a gold version of that cartridge. So that cartridge now is incredibly valuable because there's I think it's something in like the 20s, maybe even less, copies of the gold cartridge in existence. And then obviously the grey one, there's more of them, but they're still quite valuable. I think it's only like 200. But I am pulling these numbers out of my house. And there was a really cheesy movie called The Gamer or something. The Wizard. About a child who goes to the Nintendo World Championships and enters. And I haven't seen it, but apparently there's a scene of a Power Glove, the NES Power Glove.
I love the Power Glove. It's so bad.
It sounds super
it was right.
So, with this as the legacy, they did one in 2015. They decided to do another one at E3. And that was the one I was describing. There was some kind of qualifier. Cosmo was there. Speedrunner, formerly known as Cosmo. We had Erin or someone from Game Grumps.
Nani?
Aaron?
Yeah.
Egoraptor? Is that his name?
I think so, yeah.
I don't actually know it. Yeah. And John Numbers, the legend.
John Numbers.
Well, I didn't know who either, but I did at the end of this. So
he's amazing.
They played various games. The main bracket, it was double a limb, but still quite weird. And the main bracket was games that had come out recently. So it was Mario Kart, it was Smash 4, stuff like that. And then the losers bracket was retro games. And clearly none of these people had played them because, like I said, there was a Super Metroid bit and they sucked at it. Couldn't do it at all. There was a balloon fight on the 3DS as well. But the final thing, it was just before Super Mario Maker came out, and Mario Maker has the 4 modes. You got, obviously, Super Mario Bros. 1, 3, World, and New Super Mario Bros. And it was Cosmo, the fan favourite, because everyone loves Cosmo, versus John Numbers, a guy no one ever heard of. I think he maybe played Smash 4, but obviously the game had only been out for half a year, so the scene wasn't huge. And they played it, and it was really close. And then they got to the new Super Mario Bros. Bit, the very last bit, and the very beginning, you had to wall jump. Clearly, Cosmo had never played a new Super Mario Bros. Game because he didn't know how to wall jump, and it was so anticlimactic. The entire stream was... they ran both of them simultaneously, and you had John Numbers just ploughing his way through this level, and Cosmo just jumping up against the wall, sliding down, and jumping up, sliding down, and it was awful. And then John Numbers won, and he was the best. There's a Chromecast video about it. Link in the description. And then, unknown to me, they did it again in 2017, and that was the one that Boy was describing. Was that at E3?
It was like randomly in the middle of like October.
Yeah, that's what Wikipedia's saying. The qualifying was in August. The actual thing ran in October. Probably why I'd never heard of it.
It was so random. Reggie wasn't there. Shigeru Miyamoto didn't even come out. It was so bad. It felt like a giant advertisement for Nintendo. Like less about like testing who like truly is good at all different games, and more about, hey, let's look at this. We got Breath of the Wild. We got Splatoon. Oh, and I'm just like, this is so. And then Arms, of course, Arms. And like, basically, John Numbers was invited back again, and he got second place. He made it all the way to the end. He lost to, I think, a Mario Karter, who, the final match, they were playing 3 levels from Mario Odyssey, which hadn't come out yet, just like they did with Mario Maker, which didn't come out.
Yeah.
And so, John Numbers, like, second round of the tournament, like the second round of Odyssey, wins by doing the most amazing freaking stunt I've ever seen in Mario Odyssey. Like, this guy is really good at games, but he ended up losing on the final stage because he was too hasty and didn't take the time to learn control. Like he flew a bullet bill into a void and died.
Ah,
Like he hit a wall and died. And the other guy just took it really slow and safe, and ended up winning. But John Numbers, I tell you what, I think he's better, in my opinion. Just with like how he played very, very differently, and used a lot of skill to do unexpected things.
so you said that they run Breath of the Wild. How does that work? I don't get it.
I don't remember. I remember there being Breath of the Wild, um, but I don't really remember how it went.
Huh, okay.
I think they had to do what's it called? Like a shrine or something?
Yeah.
Oh no.
No.
Oh, was it? It was. I don't know. Oh, I remember. They had to do a mini game where they snowboard down a mountain. There's a mini game in the game where you go to like this hut at the top of a mountain, and then you have to shield surf down the mountain and try to make the fastest time, and that was the game they played.
Okay. I see. Fair enough, I guess. Nice bit of promotion. Yeah. Just hearing it, it doesn't sound as good as the first one. The first one is legitimately a pretty fun stream. I'm guessing it's online somewhere. Yeah, some of it's a bit stupid. Obviously, the Smash 4 was a free for all. I think that was in terms of yada yada
Yeah.
yada. We get the deal, but it was pretty good, and I think, and obviously it was E3, so people were hyped anyway. I think
Yeah.
this was the same E3 where Hungrybox fought Reggie because they just announced Ryu, so that was pretty hype.
Yeah. That was so good. Like they didn't have any games that E3, I don't
Yeah,
think.
it was an awful actual E3 presentation for them. Oh man, one of the worst. They'd previously said that they'd only had about half an hour to actually do it, and then like 10 minutes of it was just an interview with them, one of the makers of Star Fox Zero, and another 5 minutes with the woman who knitted Yoshi for Yoshi's yarn. Oh, woo lad. I
Amazing.
think they also announced the Animal Crossing amiibo game. Yeah, it was not a good E3 for them. But the championships was very hype.
Yeah. And it felt like they were trying to like relive the original Nintendo World Championships a bit. With like guest appearances and special things. The 2017 one felt like they were marketing just randomly decided, hey, let's do this to promote games, and not like, oh, let's have a hype competition. So that's
Me.
my 2 cents. Man, I don't know.